Doom Vivamos Vivamos Epicureans. This is the Marvel Epic Collection Podcast One-Shot Edition. I'm your host, Nick Smith, and I'm joined by...
Stojr from Stojr Shelf. How's it going, Nick?
Doing well, particularly since we are participating in Kurtis Findlay's Epic Marvel Podcast Reading Club, and this one shot is going to be our brief thoughts on today's issue, which is X-Men number 111. This one... I have forgotten to written down the title again. Listen to me. God, you can tell it's 11:40 at night when we're doing this. Mind Games.
Mind Games.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mind Games, the title of this one. Written by Chris Claremont. Pencils by John Byrne. Inks by Terry Austin. Well, as we saw in the previous volume, in the team-up issues, the Beast got a distress call from Polaris, who said Havoc had been kidnapped, and she couldn't get a hold of the X-Men, so she went to Beast at the Avengers Mansion to have him go investigate. Well, using Cerebro, Beast found that the team was in Texas, acting as carnival performers. Well, it turns out Mesmero has returned, and he brought his hypnotic powers with him. Well, Beast gets overwhelmed by the carnies, but the act of violence awakens something inside Wolverine, which of course it does. That snaps Wolverine out of it, and his solution is to engage in some domestic violence on Jean Grey to get her unhypnotized, and Jean Grey saves everyone else. All right, Stojr, what are your thoughts?
Really enjoyed this issue. I mentally jump the gun whenever I see the cover because I always think that this is Arcade on the cover.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not. It's Banshee. I don't know Arcade's first introduction, but I know he's later in this volume. It's great to see Beast, kind of get acclimated to the rest of the X-Men. Every other time we've seen him, he's been a Mind Game or a Sentinel or whatever. So that's pretty cool. Seeing sort of these darker or different versions of, how the mind control is affecting the different X-Men is really interesting. As you go through this, Mesmero callback again. I mentioned this on one of our previous episodes about how much they seem to be connecting things to the Volume 3 Epic Collection, the 70s sort of Steranko drawn, Neil Adams drawn issues where you have Mesmero and some of these things in there. I really like the final splash page with Magneto. I think that's just such a cool looking image of him on the last page, and as it pertains to this issue, like as I go through this, I'm thinking to myself, how fast paced everything's kind of starting to become, right? We're connecting different things, like they're not hanging out at home playing baseball anymore. Very quickly kind of defeating Mesmero. We've got Magneto set up for the next issue, and it feels like we're off to the races for something really cool here.
Yeah,
what'd you think?
Kind of the same pacing as when we started to get some of the Galactic stuff in the previous volume, right? Yeah. Yeah, this one was a lot of fun. The reveal of Magneto at the end was good. I've got that splash page up there on the screen now. This felt like the build-up to a more menacing Magneto fight than what we got in issue 104. I think partly this feels different because it seems like Magneto is the guy pulling the strings now, whereas in 104 it was Eric the Red manipulating Magneto and bringing him back. So Magneto he has the ability to be a menace all on his own and because he chooses to be, not because he's been called upon by someone else. And I think that just makes it feel like we're about to get a more... we're about to get the Magneto fight that I wanted. All right. I thought it was interesting in the characters as they're being manipulated by Mesmero. Cyclops is being called Slim here, right? Now, I know that was established as a name for him in, I think, the very first X-Men issue, right? I don't know if it went anywhere beyond that. Is this the first time that we get a callback to Cyclops being called Slim? I'm not sure. Do you recall?
I mean, we haven't gotten a lot of like one-on-one time with Jean and Cyclops since everything started, so it very well may be the first time in a while.
Yeah, I just simply don't know.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've read the I read volume 1 of the X-Men not too long ago. I think I did that over the summer, but I was intending on doing the X-Men in order, and then our the reading club happened, and well, we got to jump into volume 5. So I haven't read the rest of that stuff in 15 years, something like that.
Mhm.
One last thought on this issue. The personality change in Jean I thought was interesting. And I'm not sure if the intention here was to show her mind was being manipulated by Mesmero, or is this maybe also indicating some deeper personality changes that are being brought upon by the Phoenix Force? I know that's definitely going to be. We've gotten some hints of that, of how, she's reveling in the power when she uses it, and that's going to, of course, build to something later on. But maybe this is a hint starting here. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
Well, there's definitely some consistency. I mean, I know it's going to be a little while before we talk about it, but when she's being manipulated by Mastermind, much
Oh
later
yeah.
on, she kind of has like a darker. She's like, almost like the Black Queen of the Hellfire Club look,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe even literally that she's pretending to be. So, so yeah, I mean, there's something to that of like if you uninhibit Jean's mind, if you sort of take it over, at least when she's inhabited by the Phoenix Force here, it starts to go into that more darker kind of not her normal personality, so to speak.
Yeah. All right, well, let's wrap it up there. If you guys have enjoyed our thoughts, follow us on YouTube, where we are going to read, rate, and review a full Epic Collection trade paperback on a regular basis, along with continuing these one-shots as this reading club continues on. Of course, you can find all of our socials linked on our link trees in the description. Audio podcast is out there. We're putting this out in a bunch of places, and we appreciate everyone who's been following us and commenting and so forth. All right, Stojer, anything to say?
Nope, looking forward to the next issue.
All right, we'll see you guys again tomorrow.